Hey everybody, my name's Furgotti, and today I wanted to quickly talk about something very interesting. So, while I've been gone because of my health problems, I was kind of being a little bit political on my Twitter because I'm somewhat political on my Twitter. I usually try to be extremely neutral on my YouTube channel and just play Let's Plays and video games. Well, I was kind of political on Twitter, and I kind of got into an argument with a somewhat big YouTuber, and I kind of want to talk about it because the guy who I had a conversation with was very, very stupid, and I wouldn't be making this video if he pretty much wasn't an idiot. Today I'm talking about Brody Foxx. If you don't know who Brody Foxx is, he is a very slightly famous YouTuber. Back in the golden age of YouTube, in his prime, he was a very popular YouTuber. I mean, hell, he has 5.3 million subscribers and over 2.5k videos. He's even had a ton of memes made about his content that he's made. But unfortunately, with the current state of YouTube and the current state of how people change their, opinions when it comes to comedy and how they visualize comedy, his videos have exponentially decreased in viewership to the point that he's gone back to the level of like a starting YouTube channel viewership, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, with his personality as a person, kind of not surprised. It's kind of like karma. So out of his free time of making YouTube videos, he posts a lot on Twitter, pretty much creating a lot of propaganda to defend his political party, which, if you look at his Twitter, he's very leaning towards the left side of America. A lot. And recently he posted this post right here, talking about how he's wants to punch Nazis. And this is kind of a reference to something which I'll get into in a moment. And I did call out in his posts his hypocrisy, because one thing about me is I'm neutral when it comes to politics. I will bash Republicans, I will bash Democrats. I'm neutral. I don't like hypocrisy, so I call out hypocrisy on both sides. So I called out his hypocrisy, and you can read it if you want right here. The reason why I believe that they believe in communist and fascist ideologies is, well, there's a lot of evidence, and I'll get into that in a moment. So what did Brody Foxx do? Was he a level-headed person and instead comment and debate me in his comment section like a smart and understandably reasonable human being? No. He did the stupidest thing ever. He made a very noticeable post, pretty much completely exposing me to his entire community. His community, who definitely will not have a biased agenda and definitely most likely will not attack me and will see all logic and all people's opinions reasonably and counter argue them if they are wrong. He definitely did not make a post and completely put me in the spotlight as a way to defend his political beliefs, which he does not have any defense for, and is hoping that his community will help back him up. That's definitely not what he was doing. And it's kind of ironic because he did the most stereotype thing that most people who don't know what they're saying does, and that is flex that he knows a thing by stating a bunch of things that he's done in his life, which, I mean, I can't really say anything about it because I've done that before. I've a few times stated that I'm a member. I've been related to a really close descendant of the founding fathers, someone who has a really large Wikipedia page, and a couple other famous figures in history that have also had large Wikipedia pages of them as well. But this is what he said. I'm not gonna let you guys read it because a lot of people don't read anymore. But fun fact, I was a part of the American Legion programs where I was selected to be mentored for politics. We went to the state capitol and eventually DC. Good for him. He went to the place where most politicians ruin every part of America. We learned how to write bills, debate in chambers, really focus on this part where he says debate, because we'll go into his debating skills in a moment. AKA, it was an exclusive invite-only summer camp. Okay, cool. Ooh, I'm special. Look at me. For students who had been identified potential political leaders for either party, just like they did with Clinton and Bush in the years past. I didn't stick to politics, instead I did YouTube, but yet I still know more about how my country functions than you know about the... Can't really say that. Yeah, so pretty much he was kind of just mocking that I've never been with a woman, which is very childish. And just because you were a part of a special exclusive summer camp doesn't mean that you still know anything about politics. I mean, have you seen the current state of politics in America? A lot of politicians are just people who just were handpicked and just put into office and just kind of just go with it. I mean, most senators and representatives literally just follow their veterans and just kind of get a hang of it, and a lot of them just don't understand politics. I mean, we've seen multiple times politicians just completely not understanding their own nation, their own constitution, and just kind of making stuff up and hoping that they're the people that voted them in kind of believe their BS. I'm actually super thankful that he didn't become a politician and instead became a YouTuber, because it sounds like actually he was really struggling with becoming a politician and switched to YouTube, because why go for being a YouTuber in the first place? I mean, if you had a chance of becoming a politician, why would you waste that? I mean, you could have become a governor or senator or congressman or even a president. So it sounds like he was a part of this exclusive summer camp and was kind of having trouble competing with people who actually were better than him, and he most likely switched to YouTube because he found YouTube easier and less skill based than something like being a politician, which, you know, if you're struggling this much at being a politician, shows how good you are at life in general. But this is all just speculation. We don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to be a politician because it was going to be boring or something. Who knows? So I pretty much, like I said, called him out, was like super thankful that he didn't become a politician, because thank God he didn't become a politician. We already have really terrible and incompetent politicians that don't even know what the hell they're doing. We don't need another one in this crumbling country. And what did he do? Did he be a level-head person and use any counter arguments or counter claims to defend himself or defend his political beliefs and his political party? No, he immediately called out my English by stating, "Bro can't even dictate a proper sentence." You know, he's not really the brightest person because, you know, he's an influencer, he's a YouTuber, and he is on Twitter. He does know that Twitter is owned by Elon Musk, someone who believes in free speech, but will give people more free speech if you buy free speech premium. Because one thing a lot of people don't realize is Twitter has a limit for how many letters you can put in a post. I think the max cap is 250. And I think from what I remember, commas and periods and spacing is considered a letter. So you have very limited ability to post. You have a very limited ability to make sentences. So a majority of Twitter literally just completely doesn't add commas or periods because they want to put as much information into their posts and not pay for a $9 or $19 monthly subscription just to get a blue check mark and make a tiny bit of passive income being a rage baiter. I'm shocked that he doesn't know this. He's a YouTuber and he posts on Twitter frequently. Either the dude is so under a rock that he doesn't even know his own society and the own platforms that he's on, which is kind of viably possible because his YouTube channel is a dying YouTube channel, and most likely he just does not understand or cannot read the room as to what's going on there, or he is just an idiot. So that was his ultimate magnum opus of trying to counter-argue my claims about his political party and his trying to become a politician. He was just grammar Naziing me. And then, as usual, his community, which is no shocker, started to try to defend his very thin debate with very little to no evidence or proof to back up anything by literally grammar Naziing me as well. Like, for example, this rage baiter with a blue check mark sounds like a brokey to me. Kind of ironic that Brody Foxx is agreeing with him, yet, because literally it says too broke to afford a keyboard with punctuations. You said that to a guy who doesn't have any punctuations in his own sentence. What? How stupid can these people be? How stupid can they be? It's not that I'm too broke to afford a keyboard with punctuations. Like I said, I'm not going to pay $9 a month for a blue checkmark that gives me more ability to make better sentences because I have a bigger limit when it comes to letters per post. And it goes on and on with his community trying to defend him by literally just saying that I am really poor. I can't afford the blue icon. I don't know how to do proper grammar. So pretty much his defense for me calling his political party a fascist socialist organization full of mentally ill people was to bully me like we're in the 3rd grade. So he was flexing how he was such a great debater and he learned how to debate, and he can't even debate me. He can't do counter arguments. He can't do counterclaims. He can't give any facts. He can't even lift a finger to ask even ChatGPT or Gork or even another AI to give him information. The best thing that he could do was just 3rd grade insults and hoping that with him targeting me with his community by posting about me, his community would help him and build him up. And because he has no way to argue against me or my claims, he's an absolute idiot. Like, how can you say that you learned debating and you learned how the government runs and you can't even debate me? All you can do is bully and belittle me and use name calling as a way to just completely unvalidate my opinion and my statement. That's idiotic. And as usual, it kind of did work. A lot of idiots were trying to like defend him, Brody Foxx, hard by, constantly stating, oh, I don't know how to speak English. I mean, hell, this is America. Learn English. Well, I mean, I'm speaking English very fluently right now. So, I guess, hola, mi amo es Furgotti. Domo el gato los pantalones. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, but anyway, also here's another idiot. If you're going to talk big, at least be right. The current Democrat Party was founded, wasn't formed. I'm having a stroke. Just reading this, I'm having a brain stroke. It also might be because I'm not getting proper oxygen to my brain because of my heart problems, which we'll go into later on. If you're going to talk big, at least be right. The current Democrat Party wasn't formed until the Civil Rights Act in 1960. Before, the party was under the name Democratic Republic, which was a mixed group of people for varying ideologies before the party split. Let's see, when was the Democrat Party formed? Oh, how ironic. The modern Democrat Party emerged from the Jacksonian Democrats after the 1824 election, officially founding in 1828. The historical Democratic Party, which originated in 1792 as the Democratic Republican Party, evolved significantly over time. A different political group named the Modern Democrat Party was founded on June 18, 2020. The Modern Democrat Party has only been around for 5 years. Oh, hey, look at this. Here's their. Oh, hey, look at this. Here's their Wikipedia page. Oh, hey, look, the Democrats with their, symbol of, the jackass. Oh, look at that. It was founded in January 8th, 1828. These people are so delusional and want to prove themselves so right that their political party is the good guy when they are not the good guy, that they will even lie and make misinformation. And these are the idiots that are voting. Jeez. I mean, my God. If you're going to talk big, at least be right about your own political party and have the information properly, lined up. Even look it up on the internet just to double, triple, and quadruply check that you are right. All I can say is Brody Foxx is an absolute idiot. He is a dumbass. He's a virtue signaler who is constantly spewing political propaganda for a political party that has done large quantities of violence. Because let's be honest, what I stated about them being communist and fascist and sharing a lot of ideologies with Nazis is pretty accurately true. We have seen firsthand, and my evidence to back it up is we live in a surveillance state where cameras are everywhere and people are either recording husbands, wives, men, women, children have cell phones and they're able to record, or telephone or doorbells and surveillance cameras everywhere can record people. We can see firsthand that there has been large quantities of Democrats violently assaulting people, spewing communist ideologies, doing fascist behavior like supporting eugenics programs that are ethical, and censoring people's free speech, either through use of violence or through other means. I mean, we've seen a lot of videos of just Democrats violently assaulting people just for their freedom of speech, spitting, even murders a couple occasions. And, Republicans have also done violent things. Like, for example, the January 6th or whatever that incident was, that really stupid incident where they invaded the Capitol. But that's like one time where the idiots of the Republican Party did something really bad, but there's a huge amount of media dedicated to the violent behavior of the left. And this is the group of people that Brody Foxx is defending with very third grade level antics like, you don't know proper English. And I mean, there's, like I said, a lot of evidence. You can literally compare and contrast German ideologies from 1940s with Democrat ideologies, and a lot of them have huge similarities. It's actually kind of disturbing how much similarities they have. I don't like both parties. I don't like Republicans and I don't like Democrats, but at the same time, if I have to pick between who should run the country, I think Republicans are more level-headed. I kind of feel that Democrats are more of a kind of threat to the future of the nation, because they kind of want to make a one-party nation where they have all the power and can dictate free speech and a lot of stuff. Because I mean, we've, like I said, seen firsthand that they love to censor free speech. Brody Foxx was trying to censor my free speech by just bullying and just outright just strong arming and hoping that his community helps with his loose claims by bullying me as well, which is hilariously pathetic. So yeah, I do believe that Brody Foxx is a virtue signaler, and he doesn't understand politics or the political spectrum of America right now, because currently he's defending a political party that has way too much that's been doing way too much violent behavior and is kind of mentally unhinged. Because I mean, like, just suck it up and deal with it. Trump's president. I'm not a big fan of Trump. I think he's an incompetent president, but there's so many people foaming at the mouth that he's president. Just deal with it. He's only going to be in office for 3 more years, and then he can't become president ever again. We have a 2-term system. You can only have 2 terms. The Democrats were foaming at the mouth and doing so much violent behavior when he was president the first term, and after 4 years, America didn't fall. The world stayed the same. Nothing changed. Then Biden became president, and America kind of got worse. That was a really bad regime. Yeah, Biden was really incompetent. But as usual, America didn't fall. The world stayed the same. Fast forward, Trump's going to become Trump's president right now. He has 3 more years. Sadly, as usual, for the Democrats who are going to be foaming at the mouth, once he's out of office, nothing would have changed. America's still the same. America hasn't fallen, and the world is still okay. And the world, well, not really okay, but it's still the world. So I just don't know why the hell they're just foaming at the mouth. We live in a nation that gives us the ability to vote our presidents. But yeah, Brody Foxx is just so mentally unhinged, and his community and many of the people of the Democrat Party are mentally unhinged people. I mean, like I said, I think Brody Foxx is a virtue signaler because a lot of the BS propaganda that he spews doesn't even affect him, because he's a rich YouTuber and he isn't affected by any of the problems that most people are affected by. Because ironically, he lives in Los Angeles, California, one of the worst cities and one of the worst states in America, a state that is run by Democrats and a city that's run by Democrats and has been so incompetently run by his political party that I'm still surprised that he's defending his political party with the loose propaganda that he's been spewing. Because, I mean, like I said, he is just a virtue signaler up in an ivory tower because he lives in Los Angeles. None of the homeless problem or drug addiction or extremely high cost of living in Los Angeles affects him, because he's a YouTuber who's made a ton of money and most likely has a lot of stocks and a lot of dividends and a lot of stuff. It doesn't affect him. So he can openly spew out all this propaganda because he isn't living a middle-class job and doing a standard normal job. So since it's not affecting his life, he can spew out all this BS propaganda because it doesn't affect him. Now, another reason why I really wanted to make this video, which I really hate making political videos on my video channel, is I really want to call out his hypocrisy. I'm a person who believes in free speech. I'm a free speech advocate. I believe that we need to protect free speech, the good and the bad. And one thing I also believe in is if you are a person with a large following on social media, you should also be just intelligent enough to know that free speech can be also used as a weapon. And either Brody Foxx is an idiot or it just does not care. Or is hoping that he turns it into a weapon, because he has been constantly posting nothing but mentally unhinged propaganda of his character punching a Nazi, which he posts a lot. And right here, punch your local, punch your local, punching. And let me explain what he's referencing. He's referencing the Republican Party, because for some reason the mentally ill members of the left have been using the word fascist so loosely that its actual definition is starting to become foggy now. So apparently, since they do not like the beliefs of the Republican Party, they're calling them fascists and Nazis. So Brody Foxx is referencing the Republican Party in every single one of these posts, because the Democrats believe that the Republicans are Nazis. And if someone in the comment section or in this video is going to say that's a lie, he's just literally talking about German Nazis. Here's a artistic piece of a Trump supporter with a Trump hat and a certain thing getting punched in the face. If that doesn't scream he does not like Republicans, I don't know what is. And this is why I do not like what he said, because free speech can be used as a weapon. And when you're constantly dehumanizing an entire political party, an entire group of people in a political party, over their difference in opinions and beliefs as you, there are a lot of mentally unhinged people in the Democrat Party that will probably hear this and will constantly hear this propaganda that, oh, the Republicans are out to get us. They're going to take our freedoms. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're fascists. When you're constantly dehumanizing an entire group of people and saying that they're evil and that they are less than human, there are mentally unhinged people out there that might just snap one day and decide to do something about it, thinking that they are going to be helping better the nation by hurting others. So it's a very dangerous and very, very thin tightrope, very, very thin tightrope that he's walking on right now. Because if you're literally in, like, because this is not even just art anymore. Like, this isn't a meme. This isn't art. This is literally him subliminally telling his community to assault Republicans because he does not like their ideologies. It literally right here says, punch your local Nazi. So he's pretty much saying, punch your local Republican, because the Democrat Party has become so delusional that they are literally comparing the Germans of 1940 to the Republican Party, which is insane, because, you know, they clearly are not. But the word fascism and Nazi has been the term has just become such a loose way to try to defend something that you don't understand or don't like. And it's disturbing, because like I said, what happens is someone hurts a bunch of innocent people who didn't deserve it, and maybe makes a manifesto saying that, oh, Brody Foxx was the person who helped me to learn to do this. Well, what will happen is Brody Foxx will just make an apology video or make some kind of a public apology, and then hide in whatever cave he's from for a couple months, and then pop up doing the same stuff he was doing, like a hypocrite. So I believe in free speech, but I also believe that if you are a internet personality, you should be careful with how you say free speech, because there are people out there that are mentally unhinged that might hurt others. If you're spewing lies and propaganda full of misinformation to try to dehumanize a political party that you do not agree with, violence can happen, because the old saying is, you become what you behold. And this kind of level of mentally unhingedness that he's producing by constantly spamming these posts is very disturbing, very disturbing. Now, don't get me also wrong. He's a very stupid person, but he has been right a couple of times. Like, he has called out actually racist garbage human beings. Like, for example, this person, which the post is unavailable, but it's a person pretending to be Japanese who's been posting nothing but racism, which that is an example of actual racism. And an actual fascist potential Nazi. That's an actual scumbag human being. But he's also been very wrong with just all of the other political propaganda he's been posting. So he's kind of the stereotype: a broken clock is right twice a day. So yeah, he's an idiot. He's a freaking idiot. Who's only been right a few times, but like in this level of instance, he's just absolutely mentally unhinged, and like just like it's crazy. I don't like Republicans too, but like I'm not going to post art of me assaulting them and kind of use this as a way to a little bit incentivize my community to go out and assault them, and use this as a kind of a subliminal message to my community to go and assault them. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I just want to talk about this. I hate that I'm talking about politics on my channel, but I mean, what can I say? I live in a country that's falling apart. The cost of living's horrible, and it's all because Republicans are greedy nut jobs that believe that their like political leaders are prophets, and I'm living next to Democrats who are fascist socialist psychopaths that want to destroy the nation just to prove a point that they're better than everyone. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm in the middle of editing this, but I forgot to say one other thing. As human beings, we have the right to debate people, and we also have the right to our opinions and differences in opinions. And everyone that I talked about in this video should not be harassed, but everyone who watches this does have the right to debate people and talk about whether or not they're right or wrong and show facts and information to prove that they're right or wrong. Harassment is far different than just having a debate. And everyone should have the right to debate someone, since we live in a country that gives us the ability to have free speech. And unfortunately, Brody Foxx, which I've stated repeatedly that Brody Foxx is a person, but it's actually just a character of the Yo Mama channel, but the person behind the Brody Foxx Twitter account is a real human being with very biased opinions and filled with nothing but lies and misinformation. Does not care about actually using free speech properly, and instead of doing a proper debate, tried to make me lesser of a human being through bullying and belittling. For someone who hates Trump, he ironically was using a lot of Trump's tactics that he did to get into power, which is very hypocritical. So I do not condone anyone harassing anyone that I talked about in this video, but people do have the right to debate their political beliefs. Whether or not they're right or wrong is up to the victor of the debate and the amount of evidence and proof that they use to back up their claims or counterclaims. And as for the person behind Brody Foxx's account, he is a idiotic and despicably garbage human being, and should just stay out of politics and just continue living in his ivory tower that he built up on his money he made from his failed YouTube channel. Okay, I have to end it here. I'll see all of you next video. See ya!